Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You guys really are cowboys.
What's your problem, Kazansky?
You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Nice, man. I am dangerous.
Wretched slugs. Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
All right, Lunger. You go to hell. I'll put you out of your misery.
Say wham.
Johnny, don't!
Whoa. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Passed away at the age of 65, I would say overnight. Pneumonia. He had throat cancer in 2014.
Yeah, that's what really...
He recovered, but I'd have to say that had something to do with it.
Well, you remember... yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you remember the documentary they put together of his life at the Cannes Film Festival that came out a few years ago, that really let everybody in on his life. Since every role he played, he just sort of sunk into, right? He was so well ensconced. Like Jim Morrison... For The Doors, I still remember seeing that movie at the theater.
So
like
good.
He took over the character of Jim Morrison for sure. Doc Holliday was another beauty. The Top Gun stuff was fun, but Heat, he was De Niro's henchman, wasn't he?
He was so good in Heat as well, like really. And you mentioned Jim Morrison. Man, he nailed that. And what a hard role to do.
Yeah. I know him personally. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know him from his relationship with Cher. I'm a big fan of Cher, and they dated in the 80s. And he is one of the very few men, according in her memoir that just came out, that broke her heart.
Wow.
Okay.
They were very in love.
He was an it guy. Would you say 90s, like super it guy? Like one of the top dogs?
Well, yeah. I mean, that Batman role he had, too, was a killer role, and he walked away because he wanted more money. And that's when they used Clooney, right? In the Batman movie. That made him. He did a great job in True Romance, if you remember. Underrated. He played Elvis. And he took over.
Gosh, yeah.
And then, of course, one of the big movies he did was Tarantino's Wonderland as John Holmes, the porn star, right?
See, I don't even know that one.
Oh, you got to see him in that movie. Like, he takes over these characters in anything he's ever done. Everybody considered him a great actor. Not the easiest to get along with, apparently.
I could see
with
that.
directors in that. And but every one of them will tell you, great act. You know what? I hate to say it, but when guys like this pass, it makes you think back and you go, man, I got to rewatch some of these movies. Because 65 is quite young, and he's been out of the scene, obviously, for quite a few years because of throat cancer. But unfortunately, we lost a good one.
Yeah, one of the greats. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
We got the pavers is back. How about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
That's
it?
Right, landscape liquidators. We got the pavers.
Yeah, apparently they have some Italian stone now as well.
Coming soon. I'm assuming. Is that
These
commercial?
guys-
That one's not on the air yet, I don't think.
I can't believe it. That's good. They're dipping into the Italian side of masonry stuff. I love it.
Aiello coming soon to landscape liquidators
Well, I can't
commercials.
do the justice. Not like you. I'll tell you
whoa,
that.
Whoa. I heard you voicing those. They're going to be good.
Well, you've got the pavers. I'm just coming along for the ride.
I'm happy for the both of you.
Thanks. There's room in the truck. Hey, you had the pavers once.
Yeah, you did.
I did
That's
have
right.
the pavers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. And this is a good call. It's a reply to us yucking it up about the smell of the mushroom farm yesterday.
Hey, good day. Pingy here. I just wanted to say I heard you this morning talking about the mushroom farm. And quite honestly, the mushroom farm smells great. Reminds me of my days on the farm. I grew up on a farm, and you know what? The smell ain't that bad. You guys should all remember where the food comes from and stop complaining about a little bit of smell. Have a good one. See ya.
You know what?
That's fair. You know what?
Absolutely.
Very good.
I live by the mushroom plant, and so it was me basically complaining. And you know what? Now when I drive by, I'm going to appreciate it.
And keep in mind, Kirby also complains about like snow clearing because it makes too much noise, construction because it makes too much noise, like anything in that area that interrupts your early to bed, you don't love. So We've often wondered why you live so close to downtown and in such a busy area when you could move like to the suburbs and not have to deal with all that noise. Like in Canterbury Park, I could have the windows open, man. There's no noise. And I'm not right beside the mushroom farm, so it's good. I'm just saying there's lots of room out in Canterbury Park for you.
Or you want to stretch it to the other side, I'm right at the end of Charleswood. There's room out there for you, too. So we've got both sides covered for you. And you're right in the middle.
That's so nice of you, both of you. I've got options to move out of St. Pete.
That's true.
You know what?
Or you hang in there like I think the gentleman's name was Pingy.
Yeah,
Is that what he
Pingy,
said?
yeah.
Pingy. I love that name.
It is a good one.
And he's right. We got to remember where food comes from. Now more than ever, too, with what's going on.
Yeah.
Motorhead guy. We know he's driving bus, but he does another gig as well. I did not, or maybe we knew this.
Hey, Billy Joe and Kirby, it's Motorhead Guy. I know I haven't been calling lots lately again because I'm driving a bus and I don't get to listen to you guys because the bus doesn't have a f***ing radio in it. But I'm also partially working as a tow truck operator in Carmen now. And, man, I tell you, some of these newer vehicles that are 2020 and above are absolute junk because that is majority of what I've been towing all of today. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Peace.
Oh, his phone let
Did
him
he
down.
swallow his phone at the end?
He might have. Okay, Welsh Dragon. Yesterday was April Fool's, and he wanted to leave a little story about April Fool's.
Hi, guys. The Welsh Dragon calling. I know it's kind of late, but I got an April Fool's gag for you. Some years ago, when they used to give out real money checks, instead of putting it in your account, one day people didn't know it was April Fool's. And one day, someone put a piece of paper on the building board in the workroom, and it says, "You will not be getting paid today because of some screw up in payroll.
Ooh.
You won't be getting anything." All the women. Oh, talk about being real cheesed off. They go in the office and go, "What am I going to do?"
That's how they sound.
And April Fool's. So they thought it was quite funny, but they were quite annoyed. They were about to kill the boss.
Well, yeah, you heard how the women sounded that day.
I'll tell you right now, you don't keep a check away from anybody. But when the ladies storm in, I'll tell you right now, that's because a few of the guys were just in there going, "Wow, I better at least finish my sandwich. I got to eat first." It was the lunchroom.
Hell hath no fury.
I'll
like
worry
women
about it later.
Who you keep a paycheck from. All over.
But right now, I got to finish my roast beef sandwich.
It's lunch, babe.
It's lunch.
The women will figure
I'm
this
not
out.
doing this. I'm not complaining till it's back to work time.
Oh, my God.
So good.
Okay. The ideas continue to roll in for Kirby and her new phrase. I've got
My catchphrase.
Your catchphrase, sorry.
Yeah.
I've got yeah. Joe.
How about it?
And there's been lots of ideas for Curbs.
Hey, I got a couple of catchphrase possibilities for Kirby here. So about right on.
Right on.
Or booyah.
Oh.
Anyways, you guys can try that in the air. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Right on or booyah?
You try them, Curbs.
Right on.
Right on's okay.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad, but like a booyah is not really my thing.
Yeah, no,
A
booyah.
little over the top. Just try give me a regular right on, because there's different tones to right on.
Shout at him.
Just, yeah.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can't tell her that it's over the top. You know how women are at the office.
Well,
Yeah, do you want me to go?
I'm not the boss. Don't storm into my open space. We don't have offices here. It's all open space.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
As we learned in the bone phone about a half an hour ago, you know how women in the office can be.
All the women. Oh, talk about being real cheesed off. They go in the office and go, "What am I going to do?"
Oh, man. That Welsh Dragon.
Wow.
Did you nail it? Like, who hasn't Who hasn't heard that?
I don't have anything to do with
Is that what we sound like in
You
the
can be
office?
down the hall, and you just we used to hear this all the time. Kirby.
I don't have anything to do with
You know how it is when you get together with the gals at work.
It's like a whole cluck fest. Us hens in the office.
I'll tell you.
Oh,
Wow.
man, it never ends. Joe and I are just trying to have coffee, chew the fat about sports, and
I don't have anything to do with
Like, we have to go into a separate room. It's unbelievable.
ladies,
How do you
ladies.
work in those conditions?
They're straight out of Mad Men.
I complained to the management, but
All these women. They're
that was so good.
Yeah, that was a call from the Welsh Dragon. He was talking about an April Fool's joke, and we
Yeah.
know the Welsh Dragon a long time. He didn't mean anything by it, but it was just funny how it came across.
Back in the day when you used to have to wait for your paycheck at work, they'd hand them out on that Thursday or Friday, and
a big day.
somebody put it up on the old board, pinned it there, saying no checks today.
And the guys apparently
The
according,
guys, I
didn't
think
react at all.
But the ladies.
I think the
I don't
guys.
have anything to do with
I really do believe the guys had to finish their lunch and they would bring it up on work time.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I think you'd back me up on this, Joe. Did Kirby not ask someone at the doctor's office in the waiting room why they were there once?
I would never.
No? Is it a
No.
senior?
No.
One of your senior friends that you're chatting with?
You're half right. You're half right. Somebody said she got into a conversation with a senior and he basically treated her like she was the healthcare professional and gave her all the ailments and
Started telling Kirby what was wrong with her.
Yeah. She didn't ask. It just sort of, she has that face where this senior just decided to trust her with all his ailments.
And you know what? I was there for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't mind when people
You
share.
had no choice. You had to wait for your appointment. You weren't going anywhere in that
that's the
waiting
thing.
room.
You can't just get up and go to a
Nope.
different seat
Yeah,
at that point.
some-
That's offensive. And then you got to sit in the waiting room all awkward like.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. If someone starts talking to you in a waiting room and you don't want to talk to them,
You're stuck.
you're there. You do the old start pretending you're doing work on your phone,
Yeah.
like as a way to,
Yep.
I will say my waiting room or like at my doctor's office, because this came up because I asked you guys about TVs in waiting rooms. Do you like TVs in waiting rooms? I was getting my oil changed at Murray yesterday, super quick, so I didn't get to watch much TV. But I'm that guy. I'm always looking around for the remote, because even though I was only going to be there for 10 minutes, it was on The View. And I'm like, no, let's at least watch some sports highlights.
Some places do have the remote available to be used.
I couldn't find it yesterday. so
Yeah,
I just
no,
gave
you're.
up.
You know who you usually ask? Right there at the service station. One of them will have the remote.
Front desk,
for
I
you.
bet you.
Yeah.
At the customer service, is that what you mean?
Customer service.
Yeah, I didn't get that far.
Well, you're not going to be there that long nowadays, right? Places try and get you in and out quick.
I've been to nail salons where they'll have the TV on, and there's a couple times where I've gone and it's been like a YouTube feed, like they're playing like a YouTube channel playlist or whatever.
Yep.
And then the ads come up, and then it will get stuck on an ad, and then somebody will have to like go over
Fix it.
and get it off
Oh,
an
yeah.
ad, and it's always so awkward because it's like you don't want to be the person that's like, yo, who's ever running this YouTube channel on the TV, can you change it?
Not necessary anymore, though, really, because everybody has their own phone.
Like you're saying having a TV on in a waiting room isn't even really necessary?
It's not as, years ago when there was really no phone access, yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, look, go to an airport and watch how many people are just staring up at one of those screens, and it's like
With
a
the
news
flights?
channel, and
Oh,
you
the
can't
news
hear
channel.
anything, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you need the Wi-Fi. That's what you need. In any of these waiting rooms, you want their Wi-Fi because a lot of people don't want to use data. Then they're stuck watching that TV.
And there's always magazines. There's always
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
what you
rogue
want to be touching,
magazines.
especially at a hospital. The magazines.
I don't do the magazine.
They're usually
I do
out
not.
of date. Like once in a while at my hairstylist, I'll see like an old copy of like OK Magazine or
Yeah.
like one of those like tabloids.
Cosmopolitan.
Oh, that was such a good article in the 1998
Right,
Good
and it's like,
Housekeeping.
how old is this? Like, this celebrity's already dated like two people since this
Hey,
breakup.
You don't have to ask the date, Kirby. You can look in the top right-hand corner on the front page. It'll tell you. The April 1998 edition of People magazine.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get PJK into more ears.
Would you rather be known for your intelligence or for your incredible looks? And keep in mind, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, all that stuff. But we're talking about what people, oh my God, she is the most, attractive human in Western Canada. Or she has to be the smartest person I've ever met.
Go for Canada, Kirb, not just
Western
Canada.
Sorry,
like Western Canada.
I didn't mean to sell you short.
God forbid Eastern Canada.
Hey, you could be good in Laval, Quebec, Thunder Bay for sure.
Wow, that was very specific.
Well, you're a Drayton Valley girl.
You got to win the West, kid.
I can't.
An election's coming.
Work on the West. You'll become bigger in the East.
Looks or intelligence?
I'm going to go intelligence. I would 100% take intelligence over looks.
Joe, you got to go looks.
I'll go looks.
Aiello's so hot.
It's not happening with the brains. I can tell you that. No, I would have to say intelligence too. I think most people would lean towards wanting to be smarter or known to be smart.
Would you rather your best friend and mentor, Kirby, be Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid or Doc from Back to the Future, Emmett Brown? So talking, you spend...
Okay, Doc.
Yeah.
That
that guy.
Christopher Lloyd.
Making the time machine, the DeLorean, the car.
Yeah, I liked Back to the Future, the whole trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really get into Karate Kid until I did a Not So New movie review, so I'm going to go with Back to the Future guy.
Doc Brown. But think of learning catching flies with chopsticks
that
and
doesn't
the
seem like a
crane
skill
kick.
set that I'd even want to
No.
possess. That's a little too much for me.
I think
Fair
you're
enough.
not seeing deep enough here in Mr. Miyagi. First of all, it was all about the sense and the stability, and the calming effect of living your life
I think
and
he
the
would
focus.
He'd suit Kirby.
Like
Yeah.
with the manifestation.
I honestly thought for sure you were going that route, Kirby.
Really? I don't know.
Mr.
Doc
Miyagi.
just seems like a wild guy. Like, you just never know where you're going to end up with that guy. Maybe in 1992, you never know.
Yeah, but back then, at that age, I could have used some stability. I didn't need more whacked out wild rides. I created those myself. Mr. Miyagi, I think, would have been a more consistent mentor in my life than Doc.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Mr. Miyagi. Wax on, wax off.
Good answer, Joe. Would you rather, Kirby? So you're on a plane. Would you rather ask a flight attendant to microwave your deep-fried catfish or have to yell at a flight attendant that you're out of TP? Like you're hello, can I get some TP in here?
Okay, well, I would have to say the TP situation because strategically, the bathrooms are located where they're usually congregated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So you're not causing too much of a scene.
Still, you got to kick that door open.
Right.
Excuse me.
I need some help in here. Okay, but you get somebody to warm up that fish, and you're affecting that entire flight.
Everybody around
and then you got to sit yourself in that flight and know that you're the cause of what everyone's
stink.
talking about.
Hey, would you like some? To the person next to you. I'm already having some. I'm breathing it. I agree 100% with Shalinda Kirby on that.
TP.
Oh, easy.
Okay.
Nobody wants to be that person.
No, you're right. You're going to stink up the whole plane?
Phil, I'm not going to lie. You talk a lot about that shepherd's pie you had on our flight to Toronto, but it was very potent.
It stunk?
And
it was the meal. What am I going to do? Turn it down because of the odor?
I understand. I understand. I'm just saying if it was catfish, it would have been a much
Very
more
true.
bigger deal.
No, I'm hungry. I had to bring up, I got a soft spot for that shepherd's pie. Okay. We will wrap up with this one.
Microwaved.
With the plastic film on top, yes. Yeah.
Would you rather, Kirby, your only mode of transportation, so this is how you get everywhere, be on the back of an ostrich or on a water buffalo? And I researched both of these. You can ride.
Yes.
It's not a common thing to see someone scooting around on a water buffalo, but you can ride on both of these. Ostrich, water buffalo.
We all know about the time that I went on a field trip in grade 6.
But you have you
and
got
chased by an ostrich.
But you love animals, so I'm sure you're ready to forgive the ostrich.
Listen,
family.
It doesn't seem like a bird you'd want to ride. It's got 2 legs and a very long-ass neck. And, like, I don't want to put that kind of, like,
Unpredictable, too, an ostrich.
Yeah, like, you can't steer that thing. That thing's going to just go where it goes. A water buffalo, at least it's got a little bit more, oomph to it.
Stability and slower moving. Like
I would imagine.
more well thought out.
Yeah.
I don't know how much. They'd be slower than an ostrich for sure. I don't like birds. And big birds, even worse. Like you talked about peacocks the other day. We both hate peacocks. I
don't like ferrets either.
No, well, that's what the hell does that have to do with what we're talking about?
I just think you're hating on a lot of animals.
I did. Listen, let me answer the question. Water buffalo all the way because it is sturdier, it's bigger, and I don't want to feel responsible for squashing some ostrich by trying to get on one. Okay, water buffalo, you grab the water buffalo by the horns and you give her for 8 seconds, and you find them in North America.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I was busy doing other stuff. I had my headphones on this morning, so I only caught part of this story. But I did hear you, Curbs, chatting with Joe before the show started about a brouhaha you managed to get yourself into at Costco yesterday.
I was worried about Curbs, really, for real.
You need backup. You need Joe and I to, come run into the scene and join the fracas.
Listen, I can handle it. But yesterday, it just got to me because it was just one of those scenarios we've talked about time and time again on the show. And, I mean, I know I talk a lot about Costco and the parking lot being chaotic.
You were barred at one point from Costco.
I understand.
And that's part of the problem.
I'm a new person.
You made a hell of a comeback. Almost as good as Rocky against Apollo Creed and Rocky 2, but...
I'm a gold executive member now.
Yeah, went from being outlawed to spending a quarter of your life at Costco, so that's crazy.
So yesterday, I'm obsessed with these granola bars that I found there, so I got to go get some of those. So I'm in the parking lot, and I feel bad already because I have put the indicator on that I want that parking spot.
You realized that somebody was going to be backing out, leaving soon.
Yes.
So you indicated you were doing the turn into that parking spot once they left. Perfect.
Yeah. Even gave the couple a wave, like, hey, take your time. Like, I'm in no rush.
Yep.
Good. That's
okay.
good. Yep.
So
because you don't like being rushed.
I don't like to be
coming
rushed
out of
either.
a parking
yeah.
spot.
So just made eye contact with them.
I've said you don't like that when people wait for your spot.
Right.
Okay, but you're doing it to someone else.
But I'm doing it to somebody else.
Noted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
hold on. Let me put that under the eye.
We're just brushing over that. Okay. So anyways, I'm indicating I want the parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
This person's backing out of the parking spot, and around the corner, this red car comes out of nowhere.
Facing you now, coming from the other side.
And they see this car pulling out, and this person decides to go out of their way to wedge their vehicle, almost to hitting another car that's parked, trying to establish that that's their spot now. They've spotted it. It's theirs.
And which way was the vehicle backing out of the parking spot? With their back end towards you?
No.
Towards the car, the red car?
Yes.
And they still managed to sneak in the spot?
They were waiting for that car to move. So I I got in there. And, and that person, I was actually honestly scared.
You got the spot?
Yeah, because I had the room to go.
Yeah.
And my passenger was just go, And so I went and I took the spot. And then the guy proceeded to roll down his window and yell at me. And I didn't know what he was saying because my windows was up. And then he gave me the finger.
Don't you love it when
I can't wait to see that man in Costco.
I'm on that guy's side. You clearly, there was some miscommunication. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I want to see the video evidence. Costco could probably set us up with this. I'm not sure. Because the guy deserves his day in court.
Listen,
we're only getting one side of it.
Indicated that I wanted that spot.
Yes,
I had been waiting a minimum of at least 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was just teasing you. I'm with you. If you're there,
you indicated,
and you've indicated, and you're signaling, and he comes out of the blue.
Where does that aggression and that entitlement come from, though? It's just bizarre to me. It's so bizarre when it happens to you. It's like when that person, you're just like, are you having a bad day, bro? Do you need a hug?
Well, it is kind of scary, right? Because you take your spot and your nerves are a little,
yes. And then you got to go in the store.
And someone's giving you the finger, yelling at you.
I didn't see him.
Did you throw some muffins at him?
But
a tray of muffins
my friend saw
at him?
him, and we didn't see them in the store. Thank God, because honestly, I just
you would have. You were fired up.
But you know what's scary?
Yo, bro.
Is that this person actually thought they had the right to that spot.
That's the crazy part.
That's the weird thing.
That
But you're
entitlement
okay.
is scary. I'm okay. Thanks for asking, Phil.
Someone wants to know, when you pulled into the spot, did you hit them with the pow?
I should have.
You should have.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I don't know if this has happened to you when you've gone to see your parents, and usually your mom. Your mom would say, "Oh, look what I just found. Spring cleaning. I was cleaning this up. This keepsake from when you were a kid." And you go, "Oh, okay." And they want to sit down and go through it, or maybe you take it with you because Dad will say, "What the hell do we still have this in our house for?" It's like, right? So that spawns today's question. 20% of moms keep this from when you were a child. 20%.
I wish I would have kept a few more things.
Yeah.
You know, like you just you don't think of it at the time, and then
Right.
down the road you're like, it would have been nice to have that.
My mom kept some weird things, like a piece of my cast when I broke my leg.
Oh, why? That's not a weird thing. That's a traumatic experience for a kid, no?
I was going through my bed and I was like, what is this piece of garbage? And then she's like, oh, that's a piece of your cast.
Well, it was your figure skating career, wasn't it?
Yeah, the end of it.
Well, that's
That was the end of Well, they were hoping for big things.
Tanya Harding.
And then you got galulied.
780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Oh, morning. I'll say like a lock of hair.
Lock of hair is on here somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Number 3.
Oh,
hair
nice.
from your first haircut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work. For Chris DiStefano tickets, hello.
Hey, good morning, boys and girls. How about baby teeth?
Baby first tooth to fall out. Number 4.
Wow,
there
we're
you
on
go.
it. We're on. I think it's
man.
gonna.
This is gonna go fast.
Maybe. 780 City. Good morning.
What do you got, Phil?
First, like craft that they made for you, like Mother's Day gift that they made in kindergarten.
You know what, Phil? That's a tremendous answer, but not in the top 5.
Probably a higher percentage.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Sorry about
What
that.
else are you going to do with that glued-on macaroni to a piece of burlap? You're going to keep it.
Hi, City.
Hi, can I get Phil?
Mm-hmm. You can,
Phil?
yeah. Okay, so is it a little obscure? Like, will the answer surprise us, or is it? Are we in the ball? Like,
I don't think it's going to surprise you.
Okay. Report card.
Holy cow, Phil Aubrey.
Did you nail it?
She nailed it.
I was
Report
going to
card.
say umbilical cord because some people keep that too.
Yeah, they do, but that's not top 5. And
That
I
is a
hope-
bit obscure.
Yeah.
No, mine's on the wall. Like, it's on a plaque.
Yours is?
Yeah, I make sure. My mom gave it to me.
What is that?
It's a little
Oh.
gross over the years.
Baby shoes was number 2, like your first pair of shoes. 'cause
Oh, yes,
there's
yeah.
some cute factor to that.
Yeah.
And then some toys, believe it or not, like your favorite stuffy or something like that
Nice.
was number 5. But report cards, 20% of moms keep this from when you were a kid. Mine used to remind me all the time how stupid I was. The kid here, look at these report cards.
Look at this, Aiello. You were such a disappointment.
They always called me by my last name, my parents too. That's what I would, Aiello. Then you knew they were mad.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.
Got a text message, Boston Pizza text line from Caitlin saying she misses the crop tops and bellies, and she sent a photo of a new 92.1 City billboard. I got to be honest, that billboard kicks ass. Apologies that it's not Joe and I and Kirby on that billboard too, but it was our bellies. And Caitlin, you might be the only person who's ever said that to Joe and I, that you miss our crop tops and bellies.
You know, This City Rocks is not really a campaign. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's what this city does. It rocks.
Our logo got a bit of a makeover.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just need a little sprucing up over the years. I mean, we just turned, what was it yesterday?
47.
47.
47th birthday. It's a
Did
guitar
a
pick.
facelift.
It's a guitar pick logo now.
Yeah, no Botox.
Yeah,
just
no.
rock and roll. The
Hey,
lift. Well,
it's
you
just,
said it needed a bit of a lift.
A
You're
little,
getting today's last day for you.
Yes, it is,
Right?
Joe. Yep.
Well, no, but I mean, people make their appointments. Phil had to cancel his haircut this week.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not cancel. Reschedule.
Oh, rescheduled, yeah. Postpone.
Nothing gets Joe. Would you say, Kirby, nothing gets Joe more worked up than when you get little? I don't know how you want to describe little things you get done, some of them?
Well, he asked off air, he says, what do you guys got going on today? And I said, well, I got a lash appointment.
But that doesn't fire him up.
He's
when
talking about if you went for
cosmetics.
Cosmetic
Like your
injections.
Yes,
You
yeah.
get your lips done,
I got
right?
my lips done recently because, I go for a little oomph every so often.
And I just suggest...
And Joe gets very, very affected.
He does. He lets you have it for it.
He goes, why do you do that?
Why do you do that?
You have a mutual friend, too, that is like a friend of all of ours.
Yes.
That is one of your besties, and you go with her to do this.
Yeah.
And Joe doesn't just leave it at letting you have it about it. He then jumps on and piggybacks onto your friend and goes, I'll tell her, too, next time I see her.
You know why? Because you're both youthful looking for your ages.
Sorry, look what I opened up.
No, but here's the deal. It's poison you're putting into your system, and you don't need it. You don't have even close to a wrinkle on that youthful face of yours.
Joe, you're
and the
so
other girl
sweet.
Too. I just want you to save your money. Don't waste it on things you don't need to waste it on.
Well, it's not a waste because I enjoy it. It gives me a pick-me-up when I look at myself in the mirror every day.
I did get a listener drop off something for underneath my eyes.
Yeah.
Have you been using that?
That was Dallas.
Well, take one look at me. Does it look like I've been using
Dallas is fantastic. But
Are
she's
you kidding? You look like you slept for 22 days straight. What? You look well rested.
More like I look like I haven't slept in 3 days.
Well, it's spring hockey season. As you can see, that's the look of a man that slept for 22 years, wrapped up the regular hockey season to start spring hockey as a coach. Oh, yeah, he's getting sleep.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.